Omega Cop's a 1990 post-apocalyptic sci-fi action movie from director Paul Chiarozzi. The movie opens with a voiceover from Adam West explaining the apocalypse. Why does he sound drunk?
The greenhouse effect was a phrase in the newspapers, and who believed the press anyway? So they kept cutting the rainforests and poisoning the soil and the air, until there were so many holes in the ozone layer that it was like a torn-up old fishnet, and everything began to go to hell.
One of the last bastions of civilization is a bunker called Central Command. They get a tip that a group of slave owners are auctioning off women. In walks our hero, John Travis. You know the guy has to be a badass because nobody is making fun of his awful sweatshirt. Travis tries to use a computer, but can't seem to figure it out. After talking to Prescott, he gets sent on a mission with his 3 cop buddies to kill the slavers and rescue the girls. Travis and the cops get into some jeeps. He's contacted by the dispatcher, who has the acting ability of a wet napkin.
Read you loud and clear. Say, do you like oldies?
Sure, I like oldies. Just how old are you?
Just look in your glove compartment.
She apparently has a crush on him, or maybe Prescott does.
Just think of me, pussycat.
They park outside the slavers' hideout to go in and do some recon. These guys love to cock their guns.
You're up. All right.
They head in and Travis goes over the priorities.
1, don't get put down. 2, release the hostages. And 3, if you can, capture the leaders.
I guess whatever this guy has to say isn't important. One of the slavers, Norm, is auctioning off some women. The camp is run by a guy named Wraith, who Travis wants to take down.
Hey, let's do it, all right? 120. Let's make the bids, people. We're giving you all the free booze you can drink.
What's worse here? Being a woman who's auctioned off, or being a woman who's auctioned off and no one wants to bid on? Okay, now this is just embarrassing. No one wants to bid on the girls, so Norm throws in a 5-gallon can of gas. Travis and the other cops rush in and stop the auction. Okay, great, now what? Good thing they didn't just rush in without a plan. So naturally, a massive gunfight breaks out. There must be something in the atmosphere that's causing everyone to fall in slow motion. Oh, that's real smart. Hide behind the gas can. The Ultimate Warrior clearly shoots this wall, but somehow it kills the cop. Travis runs out of bullets, so he switches to kicking ass. While Travis is doing this, another one of the cops gets killed. One of the slavers is getting away, but a cop gets him with a grenade. Is that a Ford Pinto? Chances are that thing was going to explode anyway.
What are you doing? Stomping out roaches!
What?
Stomping out roaches!
Stopping on Russians? The other non-essential cop dies, making Travis the last living cop, or Omega Cop. Somebody starts messing with the white balance on the camera, which is supposed to represent a solar flare. Everyone runs inside to hide. Travis wants to get back in the base, but Prescott won't let him in because he might have been affected by the radiation from the solar flare. Travis grabs his super gun to head back to the camp so he can give this dramatic yell.
Ray! It's not over yet!
Later, he tracks down some of the escaped slavers with the girl from the auction. When did he have time to change? Does he always bring a spare set of clothes with him whenever he goes out on a mission? Besides that, how is he looking at the group through the binoculars? He's looking straight at them, and yet they come walking out from behind this building. So these binoculars can see around corners? Some of the slavers run away, and Travis shoots the ones who stay behind. To show he's not messing around, he even shoots one in the back. Travis contacts Prescott to tell him he has a survivor. Prescott won't let him in until he rescues someone who was in a town that was hit by a solar flare.
You check yourself.
Before you wreck yourself! So now Travis has to travel with Lena until he can get back in the base. Ugh, I hate escort missions. Travis stops in to get some supplies. The store owner tries to get Travis to take his daughter Zoe and some supplies up to the mountains where it's supposed to be safe. A gang breaks in, kills the store owner, and Travis shoots them with his super gun. This wall is cardboard. Travis and Zoe fight off the remaining guys and escape. There's an ongoing theme in this movie, and that is Guys repeatedly getting hit in the balls. Travis and the girls decide to hide out in an abandoned baseball stadium. It's obviously deserted. Just listen to that wind noise. Well, it must have just recently been abandoned because it's still pretty nicely landscaped. They head inside and find Callista Flockhart just lounging around. Even after the apocalypse, all women want to do is go shopping.
Travis, I'm serious.
We'll get to sleep here tonight. Tomorrow we'll try and go shopping again.
The next day, Travis calls Prescott again. Alright, now he looks drunk. Over at Wraith's main base, the guys are walking in looking like something out of an 80s music video. Wasn't this the first girl they sold?
Sold to the man in the back there for $145.
Wraith wants to show everyone he means business, so he has Norm kill the girl and then he drinks her blood.
She is going to be used as an example as to what it means to be disobedient.
That's right, disobedient, disobedient!
Settle down, Beavis.
Travis is traveling with the girls and he sees a guy who has his hat.
What now?
I think that guy's got my hat.
He follows him, and how does the gang not see him? That pipe doesn't exactly offer a lot of cover. Travis heads around a corner and into a completely different location. So now begins the longest fight ever over a hat. After Travis gets his silly hat back, he rescues yet another girl. They take the girl to a hospital for treatment. Inside they meet Dr. Latimer. He's been running the hospital in secret.
I was inside when the solar flare went off. I saw it through the window.
You saw it?
Yes, I'm all right. I was in the center of the room.
Oh, because that makes sense. Travis sees a kid looting his Jeep, so he chases after him. The kid leads him to a parking garage, but it's a trap. Some of Wraith's men are there to capture him, but not without a fight. They take him back to Wraith's lair. The girls are complaining that Travis is taking too long. Oh, the doctor looks like he's gonna kill himself if the girls don't shut up. Holy shit, he is gonna kill himself! So, Wraith wanted to kill Travis and drink his blood, but instead he leaves him alone with an easily distracted guard. The doctor starts to go mad because of the solar flare and chases the girls away. Travis escapes back to the hospital. He finds the doctor, who's now completely crazy because of the solar flare. Travis meets up with the girls back at the baseball stadium. He heads to Central Command to convince Prescott to let the women in. Why does he leave Zoe and Lena behind then? Oh, so Wraith's men could kidnap them. When Travis gets back to Central Command, he sees a bunch of crazies trying to break into the base. Early in the film, they make mention of this electrical fence, but what is it protecting exactly? The trees? Why don't they have it surrounding the entire building? The bad guys have an acetylene torch that they're going to use to cut a hole into the base. Travis shoots some of them to lead them away from the base. You know if this movie had a bigger budget, they would have shot that fuel tank. Travis heads back to the stadium to see the girls are missing. He heads back to Wraith's base, and since Wraith took 90% of his men to attack Central Command, he gets in and out with no problem. And then he does that dramatic yell again. Wraith! It's not over yet! Wraith's men manage to get into Central Command. Prescott tells Travis to blow up the bunker. Travis plants some explosives around the building. Prescott blows himself up, and Travis blows the building up. After blowing up the bunker, Travis took the girls up to the mountains where it's safe, except for the giant radioactive bears and the mutant fish. The movie was shot in Stockton, California in 21 days for about $180,000. They only had Stuart Whitman for a few days, which is why his scenes were so short. They even had less time with Adam West, which is why most of his scenes are him by himself in the same outfit. Stuntman turned producer, actor, and director Ron Marcini played John Travis. In the early 70s, he was a stuntman in some action films from the Philippines. He took the money he made there to produce his first movie, Death Machines, which Karazi also directed. After that, he kept producing action titles that he starred in, like Jungle Wolf and Return Fire. He directed his first movie in 1993, Karate Commando, and then followed it up in 1995 with Karate Raider. Marcini is a trained martial artist, and it shows in his action sequences. Unfortunately, his acting is pretty terrible. However, it doesn't detract from the movie at all. I mean, if anything, it adds to it. There's a certain charm about him, as if even he realizes how cheesy these movies are. Aside from Marcini, West, and Whitman, the only actor who was successful after this was Jennifer Jocelyn, who played Zoe. She was in The House of a Thousand Corpses, Scrubs, The Brothers McMullen, and most recently in an episode of American Horror Story. The movie isn't exactly one of the better post-apocalyptic films. Actually, if they removed this solar flare angle, it wouldn't really have changed all that much. Karazi did a decent job directing, although he did go overboard with the quick zooms. This was the last movie he directed, but he seems to have made a very successful career for himself making audiobooks. How the hell did they manage to get to the mountains anyway? They said it was at least 2,000 miles. Where did they get the gas? What about supplies? The other thing is there's no solar flares in the mountains? They really could have explained this better. You know, a good idea for a sequel would have been them traveling to the mountains. Instead, we got Karate Cop.
But how do you feel, honey?
I'm hot. I don't feel good.
The other thing they could have done was tweak the screenplay a bit. I realized they were on a tight budget, but at least a third of the movie was Travis running.